Hi, I'm Tracy. I am a single parent to two lovely girls who are just coming up for teenage years. And I also operate my own business Monday to Friday. I work very long hours, but I really enjoy what I do, and it's quite an established little business. It's been going for about 6 or 7 years now. I'm quite passionate about what I do and I really enjoy it. Um, I am quite a confident, outgoing, sort of woman myself. I've studied to quite a high level and I like to read, I like to absorb information, and I'm quite resilient and I'm quite strong. They're definitely the sort of traits that I have. I came across Ben Edwards through a friend of mine who I saw had liked his page. So it just shows the power of social media. And so I went ahead and watched a video, and I think the video that I first watched with Ben in was one about getting over your narcissistical ex. And wow, that video just really jumped out the screen at me. It was like he was talking to me, direct to me. I took so much from that video that I liked his page straight away, and I started watching all of the content that's on there, all the information, all of the videos, and just trying to take on, absorb as much information as I could to apply to my life at that time. Where I was at that time was not a very good place, actually. So, I was still running a business, and I had just encountered a new life of being a single parent. I'd separated with the girl's dad, and it wasn't a very nice experience at all. I'd had 13 years of quite a toxic relationship. I'd had 13 years of trying to fix somebody, and trying to save a marriage and a family unit, and it was draining, absolutely draining. And I think in those 13 years I really lost a lot of me. I lost a lot of who I am, my identity, and I just lost a lot of drive and focus into myself. So, I spent a long time trying to fix my ex-partner, and trying to keep a happy household, which was very difficult with somebody with anger issues, and somebody that had very low self-esteem, and who wasn't willing to change. Unfortunately, things got really bad before they got better. There was some domestic violence, and the children were witnesses, and they heard a lot of things. And being at that vulnerable age that they were, that was enough for me to kind of say, look, we can't no longer live like this. During a kind of reflection on where I was at that time, I was very different to the lady that's sitting here speaking to you today. I was quite downtrodden in my own thought processes. Of course, I put on a facade every day for the children and for my job, and I'm very proud of the fact that I kept those things at quite a high standard during a time that was probably the worst time in my life. It was a very tested time. I obviously had, almost like depression, if you want to label it, and just not in a very good headspace at all. I mean, my inner critic at the time was extremely negative, and as soon as my ex-husband left, I found myself in my head in a place where I had no self-worth, and I was like, this is your life now. This is all you're going to ever have. This is you. You're always going to be a single mum. It's going to be you that's going to have to raise these girls, work to pay the bills, and this is it. Nobody's going to want you. I just had a lot of very negative thoughts, on top of confusion, on top of where did I go wrong? Why me? Why did I choose a partner that wasn't supportive? Why? And I had so much guilt over the fact that the girls weren't going to be growing up in a family unit. I had so much guilt over thinking about doing anything nice for myself. It wasn't a good time at all. So when I continued watching a lot of the content on Ben's page, I just felt like a lot of his information really resonated with me, and I just thought, I've never done anything like this before. Let me reach out. Let me just see how he can help me. I knew that Ben had a lot of information, a lot of the ebooks, courses, different things going on, and I just thought, let me talk to him direct, tell him where I'm at, and go from there. When I first spoke to Ben, it was just an initial telephone consultation, and I think I'm very good at putting a front on. So the first 5 minutes, I was very, what I thought was assertive, and I was very kind of like, this is where I'm at, this is what I want. You know, it was all very matter of fact and business-like. But actually, you know, within a couple of minutes, I think Ben kind of had me sussed out, which he's very good at. And he basically challenged me on a few things which actually annoyed me to start off with, but I could see then after about 5 minutes that actually what he was saying was true, and that I needed to kind of like self-reflect and take a moment to kind of like digest what he was saying, and I did, and by the end of the phone call, I actually felt a lot more positive. I felt really happy, and I thought, yes, this is definitely something I can do. So Ben introduced me to Project Me, and I really looked forward to the one-to-one coaching sessions and other group sessions that we did. It's just been amazing, absolutely amazing. The best thing of working with Ben is a lot of the one-to-one sessions I did were very much focused on me, obviously, and we covered things like the NLP coaching, around a lot about my identity and the fact that I felt like I'd lost my original identity before I was married, and how I was this other person now. And we did a kind of a session, a visualization session, which brought those two people together, and it was very, very powerful, and something that I've never really done before, experienced before, but I'm so glad I did, because it's just been amazing to, you know, just to kind of like bring those two people together, means now that I can be the person that I want to be. Results wise, oh my gosh, where do I start with my results? They've been life-changing, and I don't want to sound cliche, but my results have just been way more than I ever expected before I started Project Me. Way more. I mean, firstly, obviously the business is going really well, but the fact is that the work I've done with Ben has completely changed my mindset, and I have such a positive outlook on life now, which just ricochets. I mean, my business now is gone from strength to strength. I've got the highest grading that I could achieve for my business in my industry, and I enjoy getting up. I enjoy my job a lot more. You know, I'm not dragging myself around. I'm not letting my own emotions, negativity come into play, the inner critic come into play, because that would all spill over into my work life as well. I have so much more energy. I don't hit that afternoon slump anymore of feeling lethargic, because just because I'm looking after myself more, and my mind's more active. So one, the benefits of my work have been just amazing. Secondly, I have been really reflecting on myself and my own well-being because of being so positive, and Ben's helped me with that, and I've been taking a lot of care in myself, and I've actually lost a huge amount of weight, and I'm now training to get on stage in a transformation competition next year, which means I'm taking my body from what it was like before to an amazing lean kind of look, in a bikini on stage next year sometime, which I'm so looking forward to, and I feel so passionate and driven about doing. You know, that's a huge physical thing, and people can see the difference in me, but people can also see the difference in, you know, the sparkle in my eyes, you know, the cleanliness of my skin, and just the fact that I'm vibrant and I have quite a positive aura, and I just feel like, you know, it's impacting people around me. They're telling me that I'm inspiring them, they're telling me that they're so proud of me and they want to do what I've done, you know, and it's all pointing towards Project Me. I mean, it's as simple as that. When you do a session with Ben, especially the one-to-one sessions, it's the only way I can explain it. It's a bit like having a positivity injection injected into you, because you come off the telephone after your coaching session just feeling like lighter. So like physically I just used to feel lighter, used to feel like the weight had been lifted off my shoulders, but also used to feel like I honestly could feel my eyes wide open, and it was almost like my eyes were dilated, you know, and I would feel hyper. I would feel really, really high, and I used to have a lot of my one-to-one coaching sessions on the telephone on a Friday afternoon, and so I would be like ready and rolling for the weekend. I would just make the most of that high feeling. But the great thing was there was never like I wouldn't come down off that high. Obviously you can't maintain being so high all the time like mania, you know, but you know, the feel good factor remained even throughout the week, you know. It was like it's like keep injecting, and that process really pays off with Project Me. You know, you just keep at it, and your default setting of how you get up in the morning or how you look at things in life becomes very, very positive. Unexpected benefits I've had have really just amazed me. So this thing in particular is something that I never ever thought about before taking on Project Me and before doing Project Me, because Project Me was about me. You know, it was about focusing on me. It was about focusing on my mindset and changing everything for me. But actually the biggest benefit of doing Project Me and the most unexpected benefit of Project Me has been my two children and how they've benefited from it. So basically, my two girls are seeing a happy mum, a positive mum. They're seeing a mum get up every day, go to work. They're seeing a strong lady. They're seeing a lady take pride in herself. They're seeing a lady take pride in her appearance, you know, losing weight, going to a gym, eating healthy, and being passionate about all of those things. And I have to just share with you, a couple of weeks ago, after dinner, we sat at the table, myself and my two girls, and we were having a chat. You know, they're little women, and we talk about life, we talk about, you know, everything. We're quite open and honest with each other. And this particular day I said, right, okay, let's all say two positives about each other. And of course they said to each other, like, you know, oh, you're really good at art, and oh, I think you're really good at singing, and you make me laugh when you do this and that. And then my eldest said to me, Mummy, I want to say two things about you. And I was like, okay. And she said, Mummy, you are an inspiration, and I'm so proud of you. I mean, she's 13, just 13 years old, and she's saying that. And to me, that's a huge unexpected benefit. I mean, that's like, I can gauge how much impact all of this is having on my children, and you can't put a value on of that. You know, there's no value on that. And that's what drives me forward. It's like, you know, they're at such a vulnerable age, and they're two girls, and I'm doing everything I can to be positive. I'm doing everything I can to show them that women are strong and resilient, and that I want them to go on. I want them to work hard. I want them to study and get as far as they can in their careers or whatever they choose to do, and that we support each other. And to me, that's just a huge benefit. And I just don't think that if I hadn't done Project Me, I would have done everything I could, but I think it would have been sidelined with a mum that felt down, and they would have picked up on that. They would have picked up on the negativity. They picked up on the glass half empty. They would have picked up on the lack of energy that I had throughout the working day, and the moans and the groans, and that would have really impacted them growing up. So yeah, that's a huge unexpected benefit, which absolutely, when I sit and think about it, just absolutely amazes me. The biggest change in me, obviously, is this great big smile on my face, which happens to appear every day. That is definitely the biggest change. The fact that I see life through different eyes now. I'm a lot more optimistic. I'm a lot more positive. I'm also really helping people that I know, because obviously I've learned so much from Project Me that I feel like I want to pay it forward. So I do quite often help friends out with advice and support. And obviously I've been through a separation. I've got a family that's broken, you know, and I've got two children. So I've got a huge amount of experience there, combined with, you know, the experiences I've had over the years in different careers. It's all kind of come to this point where I feel like I can inspire and help other people as well. I definitely feel like the investment I've made in Project Me is a huge value. Absolutely, no question. It's the biggest, most, like, hands down the biggest, most, best thing I've ever done to invest in Project Me for myself, and to invest in Ben Edwards and the advice and support that he's given. You know, he still continues to do. I don't think you can put any value on that. I just think as women, I think we spend a lot of our time and effort investing in other people, our loved ones, making sure everyone's okay. You know, we're constantly balancing home and life. And I think, yeah, we do invest a bit of time in material things for ourselves. I don't know, whatever you're into, like hair or makeup and, you know, things that make you feel good, material things. But actually, how many people actually take time to invest in their own well-being and their actual thought processes and how we're wired up and understanding ourselves and why we think like that? So for me, that investment is a huge value to my life, and the biggest value to my life. I think to me it's like a huge life-changing thing that I've done. And anybody that's questioning whether Project Me is right for them, I can honestly say, hand on heart, I'm a changed person, absolutely changed. I've got so much clarity now in my life. I can look ahead clearly and say, right, that's my vision, that's what I'm working towards. It's not muddled anymore. There's not all these inner critic negative thoughts coming in, oh, you know, you can't do that, you're not good enough, you're not worthy. Because I literally feel like a superwoman. I literally feel like I can conquer the world and do whatever I want to do. And I'm telling that to my children as well. So there's absolutely no value that you could put on Project Me. And if you're thinking about doing it, I would just do it. It's the results are just amazing from people that I've seen that have done Project Me. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. I always get to a point when people ask me about the work that I've done with Ben, where I'm so humble that I'm like, I can't thank Ben enough for Project Me and for helping me to realise that I can do whatever I want to do, and helping me to realise that I've got a huge amount to offer, and that I'm a great single parent, and that I'm an awesome businesswoman, and that I can achieve all these things in the future, all these visions with so much positivity. And I'm just now hungry to learn, and I'm hungry to find out what more I can do for myself and for my children to better our lives. And that's all down to Project Me. So thanks very much, Ben.